Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Let's give Bridget a second.
Okay.
Hey, Bridget.
Hello.
Um, so,
Hello to both Michaels.
Hello.
um, Mike, thanks for joining us today, and Bridget, thank you for joining as well. As a department, we are continually evaluating our surety operating model to ensure alignment and consistency. As part of this process, we've been actively monitoring the freight broker bond product, including underwriting claims and exposures. The entire department was impacted by the uptick in freight broker bond claims in 2021 and 2022. Between the phone calls, the claims, we all know the volume that we were all dealing with. As a result of the volume and the drain on the entire department, you're aware that we transitioned the handling of all new claims to Cash and Spinelli effective March 8th. The effect in moving the claims to a third-party administrator is that internally we have greatly lowered our actively handled claims volume. In addition to the decrease in freight broker bond claims to be handled internally, we have not seen a proportionate increase in other commercial bond claims received. For instance, as a department, we're handling 70% fewer commercial bond claims and 89% fewer exposures as a result of the retention of the TPA. As a result of the decreased volume, we've made the very difficult decision to eliminate your position. The conversation we're now having is your pre-notice of this decision. We want to be as supportive as possible with the process, and we want to ease this transition as much as we can. And so we're giving you a pre-notice of the department's intention. All right, you'll receive your official 60-day notice on July 11th. And from that point, there'll be another 60 days. On July 11th, you'll receive an official severance letter with details about your severance package, including benefits, etc. When you receive the letter, you'll have an opportunity to review it and ask any questions. While we cannot give you the specifics as to the terms contained in the letter at this time, OAR may be able to give you some of this information in the interim, and we would defer to their department. In the coming weeks, to the extent that you need time for interviews, resume preparation, job assistance, or to prepare an application in an effort to find a new position, whether internally or externally, no problem, and we will be flexible. Moving forward, we encourage you to take a look at Nationwide's open positions. If there's a match, hopefully you will consider staying with Nationwide. As far as workload, we expect you to continue to handle your files. Your focus will continue to be the runoff of the freight broker bond claim files that we still have right now. While you will be given 60 days notice, again, starting July 11th, we will assess this as we go along, and the time period may be shortened. I know this is a lot to process, so once we're done with our conversation, you can take the rest of the day off. But first, Bridget is here, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Well, I have worked my day and my workload so as to be prepared for either immediately ceasing work after this or taking the rest of the day off. I have completed all my tasks for today. I had foreseen that this was the outcome. I'm curious what the process was in making the decision that I would be the one to be cut, being as I'm not the newest associate, and there's another associate that's not as thorough and basically not as good at their job as myself. So I'm just confused as to how I was the one who was chosen.
And so basically what it is we assess the type of claims handled, knowledge, skills, and performance in making this determination.
Well, I mean, the type of claims that handled was I was filling the business need. That was what was needed by the business at the time. And I volunteered to fill that need to help out the business. And and I worked diligently, sometimes as many as 18 hours a day, in order to keep the claims load from just spiraling out of control.
I know.
And
Yeah, Mike,
and we
that's
are
a-
grateful for everything that you have done. I know
And
it
this has been-
probably doesn't feel that way right at this moment, but we are grateful for all that you have done.
This isn't an indictment on any of your work, or, I mean, you know, I know how many emails you sent late at night, and, you know, we offshored the book of business to a TPA. Is the bottom line. There aren't new claims coming in. So that's really where it comes from. It has, it's not about your performance, which is what makes it difficult, right?
And so,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and for what Carson said earlier, as far as being flexible, you don't have to take your time for the rest of today. If you have interviews or things like that, you won't have to take your time. Obviously, keep him informed as far as what your schedule looks like. But we're going to be just as flexible as possible to allow you those opportunities. You are still a full Nationwide associate throughout the entire time period. So you still have full internal access, full workday access. You apply as an internal candidate if you're looking to apply for any roles internally, but we'll be flexible regardless of where the position is located, whether it is part of Nationwide or if it's outside of Nationwide. We will afford you the same flexibility.
Okay. I have a couple questions, housekeeping questions. I'm aware that my time that will get paid out upon my termination. Is that correct?
I would recommend that you talk to, I think it's now called Associate Solutions, the Associate Service Center, to find out the specifics around that. We don't have access to the specific information, and it's really partially tied to how much carryover you had versus time taken. So they're the ones that can actually access that information and give you accurate information around that. The best way to reach them is to send them an email, nwasc@nationwide.com. You can let them know the situation, let them know and ask them as of that time period, can they give you an idea as far as what you could expect?
Okay. And I imagine this may be a question for them as well. The severance package, does that contain a do not compete clause?
It will be within the packet of information. So what'll happen when you get your official 60-day notice is you will receive the paperwork, a severance letter, and also the severance agreement. We encourage you to take that severance agreement, review it, have somebody you trust review it, whether that be an attorney or somebody else, and then you decide what you like, provided that you decide you want to sign it. The instructions as far as what to do are included in there, as well as the parameters around it.
And Director Carson.
Bridget, hold on 1 second. I can't imagine that there's to the extent you want to call somebody up, whether it's, one of the surety people that I've introduced you to or anybody else, I can't imagine that there's a non-compete clause, Mike. So you take care of you. If you want to start tomorrow getting out your resume, there's just, you take care of yourself. And if there's something adverse to that in the severance letter, you'll let us know. But the goal is for you to find another job.
Right. No. Typically they don't have do not compete clauses in the sense that I can't work for the other employer. I've understood that the do not compete clauses would mean that the severance would end if I chose to work with a competitor.
Fair enough. But Mike, let me retract everything that I just said. Let's see what the letter says.
Right. So my last question to you, Director Carson, is would I be able to rely on you for a positive reference?
Of course.
To the extent that we can, we are also restricted as far as what we can give reference-wise. And that's across the board. That's a nationwide policy.
Okay. I don't believe I have any other questions at this point. I will be making this final payment that I was in the middle of doing for on the Paradis, and then I will be exercising the right to take the rest of the day off.
And you can reach out. I know it's a lot of information at one time, and you probably will think of questions at various times. You can send an email to me or to Carson. You can send a Teams message. You can send it to OAR if you have a question, or anything benefits wise goes to the ASC. But if, when in doubt, you can send it to me and I'll get it to the right place for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks,
Okay.
Thanks, Bridget.
Thank you.
Thank you.